Well, happy Easter weekend. This is Sherry from Style Tips with Sherry. Today we're going to talk about dresses because some of you might be going out and getting a dress for Easter Sunday. And if not, maybe you're looking for dresses for your spring wardrobe. So I want to talk about a few dresses and how they relate to your body shape. If you have not watched the video for how to know your body shape, we will tag that at the end of this video so you know where to go for that. But I just did one a couple of weeks ago on understanding your body shape. And so today in particular, I'm going to talk about dresses and dress styles that are great for each particular body shape. There are 4 body shapes, BODX. And so we're going to go through them and I'm going to show you 2 dress styles that would work for your particular body shape. So we're going to start with the B body shape. If you are a B body shape, you typically gain in your belly. And so a couple different tips for a B body shape for dresses. You don't want anything that's going to be snug around your waistline. You want kind of a flowy, something that falls a little bit away from your belly and your waistline area. You can absolutely do some ruching around that area, but I'm going to show you a dress here, actually 2 dresses that are suitable, and I'm going to tell you why. So number 1, and by the way, all of these dresses I found either on the Chico's website or on the Boston Proper website. I apologize ahead of time if you don't have those stores near you, but I know you could still go online and get ideas for those dresses and then try to find something near you. And so the first dress I want to show you is from Chico's. It's a navy shift dress. It's got great embellishment at the neckline, and what's wonderful about this dress is it falls away from the body. It's not too snug, and all of the detail is happening right here at the neckline. And so it brings the eye of the onlooker upward to focus on your face. And so it is a terrific dress. I also love that it's knee length. The second dress that I'm showing you that would be great if you gain weight in your belly is this blue and white poplin striped shirt dress. What is great about this dress is, yes, it falls away from the waist and from the body the way the first one did, but also it has vertical lines, which is always good. But what's terrific about this, if you look closely, is it has ruching on the sleeves. If you have a dress and you gain in your belly, get a dress that has some detail around on the sleeve area, and it does the same thing that the embellishment at the neckline just did. It takes the eye off the bottom part of your body and brings the eye of the onlooker upward, and the detail is happening all up here, and so there's no focus on the belly area. And so that's what you want to look for when you gain your weight in your belly. Number 1, you want attention to happen here. Number 2, you don't want anything that's snug around the waistline. All right, so, and again, embellishment here, whether it's sleeves or whether it's neckline. Okay, so let's take a look at the second body shape, which is our O body shape. So if you're an O body shape, you look great in empire waists. You can do off the shoulder really well. Specifically, I want you to make sure that you are not wearing dresses longer than your knee length. And I'll talk about that as I show you each of these dresses here. Okay, the first one is also from Chico's. It is a black and white pattern. And there are a couple things that make this dress really great for an O body shape. First of all, O body shape, you are overly endowed in your bust area. You typically gain most of your weight in your upper body and often then in the upper midriff area as well. So notice what this dress does. A couple of things. First of all, it ends at the knee. Why do we want it to end at the knee? When you gain in your, when you're fuller bodied up here, is if we put a long dress on you, then what happens is it's almost like you've got a lot going on here and then a lot going on in the body or the bottom of the dress. And so you are not balanced. So it almost looks like you're walking fabric. All right. So we want to get that dress right at the mid part of the knee. It can go even a little shorter, but this dress is perfectly positioned. Your knees kind of come in a little bit on the side. You want to find that spot and have your length there. So that is terrific. The other thing that's terrific about this dress is that when you gain in your bust line, you want to be very careful with sleeves that end at the same place, because what it'll do is it will widen your upper body. Well, what's happening with this dress is the sleeves are angled, and so it doesn't give you that straight across look. For widening, it actually angles the body and gives a really beautiful look on your upper body. And then the third thing that's happening on this dress is the ruching that's happening in the middle, bringing it right at that above the waist, which is right at the empire waistline. That's right under the bust line. And so it just gives an X body-like shape to your O body-like figure. And so the goal in dressing is to always hopefully look like an X, which is balanced, shoulders and hips that are balanced, indented waist, and that's exactly what this dress does. All right, let's take a look at the next dress for an O body shape. Again, it hits at the right place on the knee, but it's off the shoulder. Off the shoulder is a terrific style for someone who has a larger bust line. It also flows away from the body. I think off the shoulder, whether it's a top or whether it's a dress, is really a good look for you. That dress is a little above the knee, which is fine too, if that's something that works for you and you like that. All right, let's take a look at the D body shape styles next for dresses. A D happens when you gain your weight in your derriere, hips, thigh area, below the waist. So a couple things we want to do is emphasize the waist. We want to make sure that the shoulders are not too narrow. And so I'm showing you a couple of dresses here. This first dress is a blue lace I also found off of the Chico's website. It is a fit and flare. A fit and flare is one that actually creates the look of an X on the body, and it's terrific when you gain weight in your lower half because it falls away. It's also an A line, right? So it falls outward and it doesn't cling to your hips and thighs. The other thing I like about this dress, well, a couple things. First of all, the color is vibrant. I like that it's lace because that's very much in style right now. If you watched my trend video last week on 5 things that I would purchase this spring, one of them was something with lace detail. But I also like the fact that it has a boat neckline. So what this does is when typically a D body shape, when you gain in your hips and thighs, you tend to, and not always, but what we see on a regular basis is somebody who has narrow shoulders. And so when you gain in your hips and thighs, it almost makes your hips and thighs look maybe larger because your upper body is much smaller. So what this boat neck does is it extends the shoulder line, and you could even pop a little shoulder pad in there if you wanted to, but it extends the shoulder line, thereby creating a more of a balanced figure. And then the second dress that I'm showing you is an off the shoulder as well, but it's a one side off the shoulder. This I found from on the Boston Proper website. I want to caution you, there were a couple things I loved about this dress. I was almost hesitant to show you, but this makes my point, proves my point. First of all, it's off the shoulder, thereby creating on the upper body a little movement. So whether you have that small shoulder or not, it brings the eye, it has more places for the eye to go. And I love this. I also love that it tucks in at the waist, so it creates a waist on you. You already have a waist if you gain in your hips and thighs, typically, and so you want to emphasize that. But I love that it was a pattern, because a pattern especially on the bottom half, a pattern again, it makes the eye wander, and wander in meaning if it were a solid color, the eye is only going to the hips and thighs. Here, it's kind of an all over movement. And so just be careful that this dress isn't too snug on you if you choose a dress like this. We want it to fall a little bit more like an A-line, that fit and flare. We want it to flare out just a little bit. And it looks like it does in this photo. I'm just not sure. So just wanted to kind of give you this. I love it. I think it would be wonderful on somebody who gains hips in your hips and thighs, as long as it's not super clingy on the hip and thigh area. All right, and now let's go to the last body shape, which is the X body shape. An X body shape, you are the gals who gain evenly all over, but are pretty much at your ideal weight. And so you are balanced, you've got a balanced figure, shoulders and hips are even, you've got an indented waist. And so a couple of dress styles that work for you are fit and flare, sheath dresses work great as long as they're not oversized, and wrap dresses are good for you as well. I'm going to show you two. Both of these I found on the Boston Proper website. And the first one is an A-line dress, and it is I think it's gorgeous. It's blue and white pattern print, just beautiful. Why is this great? It's got a V-neck. So it shows off this upper body area. It's got an indented, it's kind of like a fit and flare, right? It focuses on the waist, and then what it does, I'm kind of fumbling over my words here. What it does is it actually mimics your shape. And so here and here, going just like an X body shape. And so it's a really great dress for you. The next dress does the same, except it's a longer version. I like the collar on this dress. And so if you tend to have a narrow shoulder, then a collar really is nice on you, but it defines the waist. You can wear the belt, the tie in the front because you don't have a stomach. But I love how you can take the buttons and unbutton them and show a little bit of leg. But it's also great because it is a maxi dress. And whether you wear a heel with that, a wedge or a flat, it is absolutely going to work for you. So I hope that was helpful in getting your mind wrapped around what might work for my body shape during this spring and summer coming up season. And this is my favorite dress I've got behind me. As you can see, it is a pattern. I am a B body shape, but it's more of an empire waist. It's a little higher waist, and so it falls away from the body. I absolutely love it. So I put it on display for you there. And until next week, happy Easter. I hope you have a wonderful weekend with your family, going with your church family, your own family, and I will see you next week. Right back here, I'm going to talk about a little bit of a travel item that you all have been loving in my photos on Instagram and Facebook. And if you don't follow me over there, I hope that you will. It's under Style Tips with Sherry. And until then, I will see you. Bye-bye.